I am so incredibly prepared for this winter storm.
You are prepared because you've been here in Winter Wonderland.
Pete Delkus has told us it's coming. And I have never been more ready. I have gone to Trader Joe's. I have stocked up on perishables and non perishables. And I'm ready to go. And I'm ready to hunker down while you guys get to frolic around and drive around in the snow up in Erie because you all know how to do it and we
We
don't.
do. Except for, I will say, the weather has tomorrow being 0 degrees and then on Saturday, -5.
So you probably won't
So I'm
frolic.
probably not actually leaving the house either. You know, I'm
Okay.
probably I'm
Okay.
getting
And
stuff
the
to make
kids probably aren't going to
soup.
be able to go
No,
out.
no, no, no.
Yeah.
I don't even think Della can't go out. Like the dog has to. We have to figure out a way for her to go to the bathroom, not outside.
I wouldn't go outside of B either if it was -5.
No, it'd freeze. It'd stab you.
Yeah. Should we clap? You get to clap
Yeah.
because you're going to
I'm
breathe.
gonna clap and then I'm gonna do a brief, which I did write down. 1, 2, 3. Hi, I'm Maggie,
And I'm Amanda.
and we're sisters in law.
We started with Suits and then began scheming.
If you love TV, check out what's streaming.
It's only show fans. Only show fans. It's only show fans. Only show fans.
Well, pull up a chair and enjoy some good company because The Chair Company is coming back for season 2 and has left me personally scrambling for answers. From bugs to breast pumps to a fancy Wendy's ham shop called Carver's, this season had me nearly falling out of my perfectly constructed chair multiple times just trying to keep up with the absolute whiplash of twists and turns. It's like Severance, but more intense and acutely aware of its ridiculousness. Woof. That's my brief.
I gotta say, the last 4 episodes, well, the brief was fantastic. You had an excellent play on words, and I think you communicated how we're probably all feeling,
Thank you.
which is dang.
Dang.
Didn't you feel like they went hard in the last 4 episodes?
They did. It really
I
ramped
thought.
up. Do you watch Severance?
I watched the first season, and that's it.
Okay. I watch it, and every time I watch it, I think, I'm not smart enough for this show. And that's kind of how I felt watching The Chair Company, except for because The Chair Company is a Tim Robinson comedy dramedy, like comedy action-y thing, I feel better about it because I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to keep up. I don't think I'm supposed to be able to draw the connections.
This is what Tim would want for you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Tim Robinson.
Okay.
Because in Severance, I'm
Yeah,
like,
this is what he wants.
okay, people are making some serious connections. People are remembering things from season 1, and like they're drawing some conclusions that I'm just like along for the ride, right? Chair Company, I'm like, whoa, did not see that coming. I'm just along for the ride, and it's okay. It's okay.
It is okay. And you texted me because you had finished it before I had and said, oh my gosh, the ending of The Chair Company. And I said, don't tell me because there's no one who hates a spoiler more than me.
I know.
And there's no one who loves a spoiler more than you and Dr. Witt.
It's
You're
true.
just like, fine, tell me what happens. I don't care. I'll start at the end, work my way back.
I know. I love it. But what did you think of the ending? Can we spoil it for everyone? I mean, I'm sure people have
I
already
think we
watched it.
can. This show has got spoilers in it, and if you are just now joining us, and we recap television shows, sometimes films, we're going to spoil things. So, spoiler, there's spoilers.
We're
I
going to spoil things in a way like how cheese is made out of spoiled milk, right? Like we're going to spoil it, but in the spoiling process, we're going to make it more delicious, easy to digest, something you would put on a cracker. That's what we're going to do with all our TV. We're going to slice it up like a fine cheddar that was once milk, right? Like we're spoiling it. It's the process of processing.
this, to me, the way you have just described our podcast, is probably, it's sitting with me in the way that it sat with you about the show, where you're like, is this too complicated to get it? Or am I not supposed to get what she's saying? Or is that brilliant?
We don't know.
I think it's the third. I think it's that you're that brilliant. And as cheesy as that description sounded, I'm here for it.
Thank you. Okay, sorry. Let's get back to the show.
Here is the thing about the spoiler. We find out at the very end that Amanda, great name, is the woman whose skirt he looks up twice, really, I think I remember from the footage, when he falls out of the chair at the big kickoff meeting. And we find out that she has these like superpowers. Like, she's a witch.
She's got telekinetic
And
powers. She can like make things happen.
Telekinetic powers. She can make things happen. And she made him fall, okay? Which is the domino effect of all of this. So she is actually the catalyst for everything. And her boyfriend comes in and reveals this to him. And the reason this was 50% shocking and 50% not is that 50% shocking because did not see this coming. Generally speaking, was not thinking that they had given us enough clues, really, except that there have been a couple of weird Amanda moments, but not quite enough. So I just thought it was a weird dynamic and she had a crush on him from high school. Now, the 50% of me that says, here's why this is not surprising at all, is because that's not the only Amanda who is a witch that you know. So I'm not surprised that another woman named Amanda has some witchy powers and can pull that stuff off, because it is sort of a known fact now that I am a little bit of a witch.
A little bit, a lot of bit, tomato bit.
A lot of it.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I feel like Amanda, like when I think witches, I think like names like Vivian or
My favorite name.
Yeah,
My
it's a great
favorite
name.
I love the name
or
Vivian.
like
Naomi is also one of my favorite names.
yeah, like ooh, like this is a dark, mysterious name. And then I think Amanda, and I think
Persepolis.
Persepolis.
Well, Persepolis is not really a witch. She's my ghost. Yeah, so it's different.
But then I think like Amanda, I think like Care Bears and Cabbage Patch Dolls. And it's like such a cute, happy, fun name, which makes you a better witch, I think, because you have to, you're like,
Unexpected.
yeah, no one's expecting it.
It's kind of like being a spy, like just being someone, who's a spy.
Spot the spy, spot the lie.
Spot the lie. Anyway, so that was the ride. It was part surprising and part not.
Yeah.
And I get it. I think when I think about like the witchy stuff that I've been able to pull off in the past and will in the future, I don't know that I would have used my witchy abilities to make someone fall at a sales kickoff or a big project kickoff so that they could look up my skirt twice.
Maybe not. You don't know. You don't know.
I mean,
might.
I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I'm not saying I wouldn't.
Right. Exactly. We're leaving it up. Leaving it up to chance.
Well, we have to be a little mysterious as a witch.
Yeah. I'm not a witch, so I
think that you could be. I think it is partly the way that you're talking about
You're
it.
right. I need to say I am a witch. And then I become one.
I didn't want to believe that I was until I think you were the first one to really call it.
Yeah.
And then I've had a couple other people that have said, well, you might be a little bit of a witch.
Yeah, you're right. I think I can spot the witch.
You can spot the witch.
I can spot the witch. I like
Which
to
witch?
surround myself with witchy people. Like I like to be in the room where the magic happens, right? Like not like literal magic, like with people who are really good at manifesting, and I like to be in their good graces. And then I myself am more like a piece of cheese who has not quite gone through the spoiling process to become a good cheese. Like I'm kind of like more milky,
Okay. I hate that word.
Milky. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't really like it either.
Yeah, you also don't like sharing dairy.
No, I hate sharing dairy. That's the grossest thing to share.
The fact that there isn't an improv troupe named Sharing Dairy. I mean, there's Dairy Milk. right? Or no, warm milk.
Warm milk.
Dairy based and milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the two troops. I just combined them. But sharing dairy.
Is a good improv name. Good band name, too. Hey, we're
Band name,
sharing
dairy.
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 But they have to be British.
Thank you guys for coming out. Oh yeah, for sure.
And we're going to play our hit, Cheese Machine. Ta-da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. We're sharing dairy and we're Cheese Machine. We're rocking and rolling and we're nice, not mean. We're sharing dairy, the Cheese Machine. Rocking and rolling, making you scream. Sharing dairy. Did I do it?
You did it.
Thank you.
I think some of our earlier fans are going to appreciate it because you and I used to sing together when we shared a studio, and it doesn't really work anymore remotely, and it doesn't need to because of that right there.
Thank you.
Margaret.
Thank you.
That's it. That's what the fans needed, and that's also what I needed today.
Okay. Anyways, back to the show. Back to the show.
That's the end of it.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about a couple of things that happened in the show?
Yes. Okay. So the reason why this was surprising, this Amanda reveal, that she's one of the reasons why the chair broke, is I think that there's also multiple other layers for why the chair broke. And they're all like these separate pillars of Tekna and separate pillars of Tim Robinson's character, Ron, getting like all of it came together in this perfect way. Because his boss, who also like is the head of the mall development, he's kind of in on it too in some way because he's in with the Red Ball Company, right? And then there's also Tekna is smuggling in bugs, and they have this purchasing order embezzlement scheme that's going on that Ron actually gets to the bottom of. Ron thinks he's solved this whole thing in the penultimate episode where he's like, oh my God, it's this woman Quintana. And she's the one who is using Tekna, replacing these bad parts, making a whole bunch of money. She's the bad guy. She's why the chair broke. Turns out Quintana is also the investor in Ron's wife's breast pump startup. So he can't call her out on it. And so that's how we kind of like think this is going to end. Like he's discovered what's going on. He knows exactly why the chair broke.
And it is what it is.
And it is what it is. He can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
But
And
then
that's not it.
Then this Amanda thing comes out, and then his boss comes in. Like then it's like, wait, that's just like one piece of it.
I know. I guess, I'm thinking about, I do want to talk about a couple of fun things that happened. It's also interesting to think about maybe taking a trip at the end of this one because there is going to be a season
To Prediction Town. Absolutely.
Yeah. James Downey is hilarious. I have thought about it a couple of times a week since I watched it when he comes back and he's in a wheelchair and they're like, how long are you going to be in a wheelchair? And he was like, 2 to 8 months. It's really up to me. And he does a lot of things. I mean, he is so funny. So he is a writer from SNL. That's what he is most famous for and has won, I think I just looked it up. It was nominated for 8 Emmys and won 5 for writing for SNL. Like he has been around for a long time and he is so funny and would love to talk to Tim Robinson about working with him. But that particular scene and that line, and then also him right afterwards talking about how, he didn't know if he was going to live because the refrigerator was on top of him and he had to eat some food and he didn't get to choose. And then he says it again. He's like, as a reminder, I didn't get to choose the food. And it's just like this whole 5 minutes with him and then talking about being in the wheelchair for 2 to 8 months. It's up to him to decide. I watched it like 3 or 4 times because I was like, there's no way all of that nugget right there happens in just one little scene. Anyways, writing for him. I don't know if he was writing for himself. I need to go and look and see who wrote that episode.
He's so funny.
It's so great. I think I would just want to have an entire episode talking to him or talking with Tim about working with him because he's so brilliant and fun. Anyways, there's so many things that I wrote down that I thought was really fun, but that one really stuck
Also,
out to
just
me.
how he comes in the wheelchair and he's like, I really want to make sure, are there going to be wheelchair ramps?
Wheelchair,
And
and
Tim's
he's like,
like,
"Yeah, we're idea."
yeah, but he's just like made this his whole personality. And then how he tries to get Tim fired too. How he's like, I just think, because Tim pushes his boss. Like it's like Tim actually does get fired, right? Or put on like a
Yeah,
break,
a
a
leave,
leave,
like a leave. Yeah,
because he's getting so
yeah.
worked up over everything.
I wrote down the exact line. I was able to survive even though I couldn't pick. Which makes me think of the time. So I think maybe also, not everybody knows this, but I've been arrested, and I'm happy to tell the story. Thanks for asking. And this scene makes me think of the time that I got arrested because I had an unpaid ticket. I had two unpaid tickets, and I was pulled over a normal traffic stop. There was like a cop in training, a CIT, and he was on a ride along with a, CNIT, cop not in training. And all of a sudden, I am 2 blocks from my house. It's on a Tuesday night. I'd come home from working at the club, hadn't had anything to drink or anything like that. It wasn't one of those things. And I had some tickets. And so they pulled me out on the side of the road, maybe sit on the curb in handcuffs until a female officer could come and search me. And then they proceeded to throw me in the back of the car and take me down to the jail. And a couple of things that were said about this is that I was completely out of dog food and I was also hungry. So I had driven through McDonald's and picked up 4 cheeseburgers. And I had picked up 2 for myself and 2 for Honey the dog. And Honey the dog and I were going to eat cheeseburgers when I got home at like Tuesday night at 11:30. And they towed my little car. And I had said, "Can you guys get those cheeseburgers out of the car?" Because mainly I didn't want my car to smell like cheeseburgers, and I would have to figure out the dog situation. Poor Honey. And they didn't. So they left the cheeseburgers in the car, and then I got taken to a jail where I then called my former business partner and said, "I am being arrested." And he was like, "Well, I've been arrested, and, would you come help me?" I had actually called Christy Wallace on the way because she and I had been on the phone, and so, or been working together. And yeah, I got sent to one jail, and then they stripped me down, put me in the jail scrubs, and then I got one call, called my business partner, and as he came to pick me up, we crossed paths, like 2 ships passing in the night, because they were then putting me in the state trooper's car to go to jail number 2, and where my ticket was actually in, which was down in Ferris. And so I had to get in the back of a state trooper's car and fly 90 miles an hour down the highway. And my business partner could not pay to get me out because they're like, "Too late, you missed it." So then I went to a jail in Ferris, which was like a Dukes of Hazzard situation. And there was no boss hog there, but there was one cell for the females and one cell for the males. And with 2 cots. Luckily, I had a private suite. There was nobody else in jail that day. And it was such a tiny little space, probably 1,000 square feet for this whole courthouse. And when I walked through, handcuffed to my cell, I walked through the break room. And in the break room, it was a freezer fridge situation. So the little freezer up top, there is a sign typed up in Comic Sans, and then taped with like masking tape on the freezer that says, "Do not eat breakfast biscuits. Biscuits are for prisoners." And it's funny now. I go to my cell. I finally raise a fuss and say, "You don't even know who I am. You've made a huge mistake." To be clear, I was nobody and did not know I was a witch at the time. I could have figured out another
You could
way
have just unlocked the
out. And so,
door.
yeah, finally they did let me out and realized that they had made a mistake because I had paid that ticket and they had not updated it. And so it was kind of they were like, "Get her out quick." And so they put me out, they got me out, and they said, "Ma'am, would you like us to call someone?" I said, "No, I'm fine, I will call somebody." And then I went and sat outside on the curb, and they brought me some like really old coffee at like 6:30 in the morning, and they said, "Would you like a biscuit?" And I turned up to them, I said, "No, thank you, because biscuits are for prisoners." But I was secretly so hungry because I had those cheeseburgers because I hadn't had dinner, and
Oh my
I
God.
wanted a breakfast biscuit that was for a prisoner,
But you couldn't do
and
it. You couldn't
I
eat
didn't.
that.
Out of
And you're
principle.
not
Out
a
of principle.
prisoner.
I'm not a prisoner. Also, we needed to save it for the real
Yeah.
prisoners. And it was a mistake. I got
I
arrested on a clerical error.
I would have scarfed
Did you not know that story?
I did know that you got arrested. I didn't know that they sent you to a different jail. I didn't realize you went to 2 different jails.
Yeah, I did too. I had too. Luckily, I didn't have to go to Lou Sterrig. I went to the jail that's like right over there in Deep Ellum. So when they arrested me, they're like, "What do you do?" And I was like, "Well, I actually just got off work. I was bartending, but I own a club." They're like, "Which one?" I was like, "Dallas Comedy House." I was like, "Oh yeah, I was there for open mic last week." He's like, "Do you know my friend?" And the cops were just talking to me the whole time. I'm like, "Guys, let me out of
I'm
here.
arrested.
This is so silly."
You have the wrong
And they're like,
lady.
"Do you know so and so?" You're like, "Oh man, who's your favorite comic?" Like they wanted to just talk shop, and I'm cuffed back here. I'm like, this isn't funny to me. I don't want to talk about comedy right now.
It's not funny until like 10 years later when I'm on a
10
podcast
years
and I
later,
say
what
the
a
biscuits
podcast.
are for prisoners. Boom.
Yeah.
Also, the
Yeah.
4
Anyways,
cheeseburgers.
that scene kind of made me think of it.
The 4 cheeseburgers is fantastic.
Yeah. The 99-cent cheeseburgers.
Yeah. So, which scene made you think of that?
Just him talking about the freezer. He's like, I had to pick food from the freezer, and I survived, but I didn't get to pick. It just made me think of like a fridge freezer with like a freezer on top. I call it middle class wealth whenever you've got like a fridge freezer in the garage. You know,
And you didn't get
when
to
you've got
pick,
more than one.
but you
I
survived.
didn't get to pick.
Proud of you.
I did. Anyways, I digress.
Oh, yeah. Some other fun things.
Yeah.
Some other fun things. Both of Ron's kids are really in crisis by the end of this season. His daughter there's trouble in paradise. Her fiance is like, I can't believe you told your dad about my secret marketing project for Wendy's Carvers, which is an upscale Wendy's restaurant where they serve ham, which
Ham. Yeah.
first deposition, yes or no to Wendy's Carvers.
No. Are you a yes?
Yeah. I'm a big yes.
Okay. Say more.
Okay, well, first of all, Wendy's, I haven't been in a while, but in college, Wendy's was like my go-to hangover cure, a crispy chicken sandwich,
What'd you get?
$1.06. And I could get that and I would immediately be ready for the day. It's, so I really love Wendy's. I feel like their fries are delicious. You can get a baked potato, chili, like they have offerings that I think are
The chili is
next level. And the idea of an upscale Wendy's, I'm like, it's already classy as hell. You know, Dave's Wendy's is already
So like a real fast casual, like a true fast
I feel like it
casual.
would be really delicious. And that they serve ham.
Yeah.
I'd go ham on a ham from Wendy's.
Would you?
Yeah. I mean, we remember when we went to Arby's?
I still have that receipt. I have that receipt on my desk right now.
Good. Save it forever. Scrapbook that. Because that Arby's was the best Arby's in
It is a
America.
scrapbook.
Remember how I had like a cup and I was like, oh, I got to throw this cup away. And the guy was like, just give it to me. Through the drive-through?
And they let us pass that trash. Pass the trash.
Yes.
We passed the trash through the drive-through, and they, in Jamestown, New York, took your trash.
They took my trash.
Pass the trash. Oh, that's the name of an improv troupe.
Pass the trash.
Pass the trash. Pass the trash. Pass the trash.
We're having some good musical moments. Yeah. So,
There are
anyways,
some good musical
I
moments.
feel like I would definitely go to an upscale Carver's, but
Okay.
I don't know. I thought it was a great concept.
I wouldn't.
Why not?
I think it's the association with Wendy's because it's like here's what I know about Wendy's, and I want it to. I like the brand. I think it's got a strong brand, and then it becomes more of an identity crisis of like, Wendy's, who are you? What are you trying to be?
that's true.
And I think if it wasn't marketed as an upscale Wendy's that serves ham, then I might be okay with it. If it was just, here's this new place called Carver's and it serves ham, then I'd be okay. But when I'm tying it back to Wendy's, I'd be like, why isn't it a square ham? You know?
Great question.
Do the potatoes have the skin on it? Because, Wendy's did make a pivot with their fries. And they used to not have the skin on them. And I actually preferred the older fries.
Really?
I don't like the ones as much. Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm a purist that way. With the fast food, I don't want you to try and be more than fast food.
That's fair.
And I feel like French fries with skin on them is actually trying to be someone that you're not. And in a world full of AI, I'm looking for some real authenticity with my French
I agree.
fries.
And it's also like, it's fast food, so it shouldn't look real. It shouldn't remind you that it's a potato. You shouldn't think like, wait, is this food does this food come from someplace? You should just be like, this is processed food and I'm processing
food.
it.
And it should look like some food that could sit out for months
Yes.
and not change the way it
Agree.
looks. And that's what I'm looking
Agree.
for. You know?
Yeah.
Take the note, Wendy's.
His son also, Ron's son, is also going through a crisis. He's been drinking a lot, which we
Yes.
know, kind of partying.
Yeah.
And it might have to do with the fact that he doesn't want to play basketball anymore. He wants to be a stop motion animator and go to RISD,
Okay.
which
Depot for you. When you were in high school, were you saying that you wanted to be one thing when you really wanted to be another? And if so, what are those two things? Or did you know?
no, I didn't really like playing basketball my sophomore year. I was on the varsity basketball team and it was kind of intense. And I was like, ugh, this is such a drag. It was like, oh gosh, we're doing like so much working out and then just running a lot. And it wasn't really fun. It was just really stressful. And so I quit, saying that I wanted to focus on my art portfolio to get into art school. But it wasn't like really a lie. It was just like, I don't want to be doing this extracurricular when I could be doing things that are like not anxiety inducing, you know? But I was like, oh, maybe I could go to RISD. And then I went to a portfolio review, like just a sample one where all the colleges come and then they give you notes on your portfolio. And I was like, oh, I don't think I actually want to go to art school, because it felt like that would suck the joy out of it, you know?
Yeah. It's when you take your hobby and try to make it a business. Yeah.
Do you
been
know
there.
anything about that?
Yeah. Big time.
What about you in high school? What did you change? Or did you? Or were you like, nah?
You know, it's kind of all over the place. For years, I wanted to be either an attorney or a dance studio owner.
I mean,
Those are the two
you
things.
kind of are an attorney. We did watch a lot of Suits.
Basically, by proxy. I watched so much Suits.
And you can do tap dancing with your fingers with the tap shoes that we're going to be launching at some point this year, probably, the little finger tappers.
Yeah. Probably, Q3 2026 is kind of what we're targeting.
So I
Get
think,
people ready for
I think
Christmas.
you've really nailed it. You've made your high school self proud.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. What else we got from the show?
Mike, the like PI kind of creepy guy who loves listening to porn all the time and thinks it's comedy. He has this estranged fan.
Some of it is.
Some of it is
comedy.
Some of it is kind of really hilarious. He has this estranged family that he talks about. Like, no one from his family will ever let him back in. And Ron goes to meet Mike's daughter, and she drops this bombshell of like, no, my dad died, and Mike got my dad's heart in a heart transplant. And then he walked me down the aisle for my wedding because he was like, oh, look, my dad is there with me. But then he got really weird, and we're not actually his family at all.
Which is an incredible storyline.
Incredible storyline.
That's the genius of Tim Robinson and Co. is the shit that they come up
Yes.
with.
Yes.
It is such a yes-anding situation, and I think it would be really fun. I think we should probably see if we can record from inside the writer's room
Oh my God.
for season 2.
Except for I would just be like this the whole time.
Oh my gosh, we would be so giddy.
So giddy.
And the thing is that we could record and release a whole bunch of things that would be spoilers, and they would completely flip the script on all of us, and none of us would know.
And then people would be like, this podcast is a lie. Don't listen to this podcast. They're making stuff up. No one would ever write something that ridiculous. Clearly it's this way. And then we'd be like, no, they were going to write something that ridiculous. And then they flipped it and made it more ridiculous.
We were in the room where it happened.
That's true.
We were.
I do want to say one quick thing, just like outside of this, because I want to hear about my dog nephew Whiskey and his reaction. I heard he had some strong feelings about the second half of this.
He had a really hard time.
Yeah. Why?
I think, I can't quite put my finger on what it is that really makes Whiskey react. I don't know if it's a certain type of action or, when there are animals in a show, like there were some animals in The Beast in Me, and when he hears them barking or whining or doing things for too long, then he'll react. So I don't know if it's the animals or if I think it could be actiony, like running and bicycling type things. Though it's because it's hard because, like, his least favorite show is The Americans. So we didn't ever finish that. He also, though, because I've been not so secretly binging Emily in Paris, has had a couple of reactions to Emily in Paris, which I think is interesting. So he also kind of has the zoomies because it's cold here. And so I think that could be it. Hey, buddy, he's waking up right now.
He wants to tell his
So
opinion
I don't
on the
know.
pod.
He just wants to tell us a point. He's like, Mom, you're not doing this justice. So I'm not really sure what it is about it, but he had a hard time with the chair company, so much that I had to give him one of his chill pills so that I could finish watching it.
Which does bring up you talking about how he doesn't like maybe possibly other animals on the TV. I forgot completely that Ron adopts a dog in the second half.
Oh, yes.
He gets fired.
Baby.
He adopts Baby, who's like this humongous dog, which is like, no, don't do that. And then eventually Baby runs off to her actual owner's house, which is like a cabin in like a super creepy situation that Ron gets into. I feel like this is going to be tied in season 2. Like, there's no way that Baby is not a part of Tekna.
No, because Baby also apparently was in a bad home environment and was returned to that home environment based on the reactions that we saw on Instagram.
Yeah. Wait,
The stuff that they, yes.
on
do you remember that?
Instagram?
On the Instagram on the show.
Oh, okay.
The owner was like, look, because Ron's like, I need to show that I've done a good deed. Would you take a picture of me returning this dog? And it gets posted. They're like, why would you return that
Yeah.
dog? It's in an awful place where it gets yelled at or beaten or something like that. It's just like, oh my gosh. I
forgot
so, yeah.
Yeah. I've been volunteering, and by Ben, I mean I went one day to the Erie Animal Shelter, the Erie Humane Society.
Is this your new
This
personality?
is my new personality. I'm not very good at it, but I can understand. Kyle has made me promise that he won't come home and I'll have a dog. And I was like, no, I won't just bring a dog home. I'll talk about the
text
dog
you that I'm
nonstop for a
bringing-
couple weeks, and then I'll bring the dog
And
home.
then I'll bring the dog home. I could not do it. I would have so many dogs. I used to say that I wanted to, when I grew up, wanted to have a big yard with lots of little dog houses outside and call it Buckingham Palace and have like a big place for them to all hang out.
That's the only part that you haven't done yet from your high school self. You've got finger dance shoes. You're a lawyer from the Harvey Specter School of Law. Next chapter, Amanda, Buckingham Palace. Let's go.
Buckingham Palace. Well, you texted me that picture of that dog, and I thought it was maybe one that you saw on like a Dallas post or something. I was like, where is it? I'm going to go get it. I'm going to go get that
Okay,
beagle.
that baby's so cute. If she doesn't get adopted, I did tell Kyle, I was like, she needs to get out of there because she's too precious for the pound life.
Yeah.
And it's good. Like, the volunteers are all really sweet. They take really good care of everyone. Like, they know all the dogs. They have like a whole bio that you can read, like everything about the dog. They're so great. And the dogs get out and they have playrooms, like all of this. But this little precious baby girl,
She got to come home. She got to come home over there to that house.
yeah, well, she got to go to a
That
house.
little-
She has to find a house.
A little sister for Della. A sister for Della.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maggie, speaking of trips, we're not really, but I'm sure you made a trip to the Humane Society. I was curious if you'd be interested in going on a trip with me
I would
to
love.
a place that we haven't been in months and for sure the first time in 2026. And if you're new to this podcast, this is a trip we're going to take to our favorite place called Prediction Town.
Chugga 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 choo choo. It's so great here. I love it.
It is. I actually don't have any predictions because I don't even know how to predict this show. It's so wild.
Okay. I do think the dog baby is going to have a big piece in it. I think Wendy's Carvers is going to have a big piece in it. I think as we like chip away, I think that the people who are the 3-pillar kind of people who Tim Robinson's character currently thinks have been involved in the chair breaking, I think that's just the surface. They don't even know how they're connected at the next level of this pyramid. And we're just going to keep climbing the pyramid,
Okay.
climbing the rungs, right? He's going to have this story. The news, the journalist is going to get involved because he called that Crime Topper tip line.
Oh yeah. Oh
So, like,
yeah.
the journalist is involved and they're uncovering things that are different from what Mike's uncovered, that are different from what Ron knows. And then his daughter's heartbroken, but maybe she uncovers, like, it's just going to
It's so much.
so much.
It's gonna be great. I'm so happy it got picked up for a second season. That makes me very happy.
Yeah, because
On
this is,
multiple
like you
levels.
said, it's like a 5-minute sketch on I Think You Should Leave that has now spiraled into an entire series, multiple seasons. Incredible work, Tim Robinson, HBO team. Bravo.
Yes, incredible work. Incredible. Maggie, we did get a new review.
We
Do we
did.
want to read that really
I
quick?
do.
Okay.
It's
Do
a
you have it- do you
great
have it pulled
it's a
up?
great review because it's not something that we've suggested saying, but I do think it's accurate. So thank you to Galen Andrew on Christmas Day took the time to write hilarious 5-star. Love the banter and bits. That's us. We're banter
Thank you
and
for
bits.
that Christmas present. That is. We're Banter and Bits.
Pickles and tents and banter and bits.
Banter and Bits.
Are you banter or you bits? Are you which one are you?
I don't know. What are you?
I think I'm the bits.
I think I might be more banter and you're
Yeah, I
bits.
think so. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
the banter, I'm the bits.
We did. We got that song from Sharing Dairy. It was an incredible bit.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It was incredible.
Thank you
Incredible.
again for that review. Really made my
Yeah.
spirits bright.
You didn't know this, Galen Andrew, but I said to Maggie right before we started recording, "Hey, we got a new review," and she goes, and did her real loud gasp as if someone is at the door with the worst news ever, or she's won the lottery. And she also reacts the same way when people leave a review, and it's a delight.
And I forgot that I bought a lottery ticket. I had to check that.
You gotta check
Oh my
that.
gosh. I could win the
Check that.
lottery twice in one day because I could have won this review and then win $205 million. Thank you.
That'd be so great. We don't even know which one's better. One of them's priceless.
Yeah. Can't put a price on a review.
It's true. Speaking of reviewing, we're going to review one more show before we get into some of those from the Golden Globes that we had talked about. And Maggie, do you want to reluctantly tell the listeners and viewers what we're going to be reviewing in our next episode?
No reluctance about it. I cannot wait to dive into the second half of All's Fair, the incredible legal drama that is unfolding before us and also got renewed for a second season. So we'll be back talking about
I
it
haven't
next
watched
year.
any of it.
I haven't either. I've been
I
waiting.
was putting it. I was putting it off, so I'm gonna have to binge that this weekend during the snowstorm. Thanks so much for tuning in. You can check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else you get your podcast. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review.
And if you don't know what to say in your review, you just say bits and banter, banter and bits. Love it. I took what Andrew wrote and then I just changed it a little bit because I know that that's something that people appreciate.
People do.